All right. So I know we just ran down 3-on-5, but being that it's hashtag trade season and Christian's GM brain is always working in overtime, I think it's only appropriate we kick it over to him for some of our favorite or some of his favorite hypothetical trades of the week. Christian, what do you got for us?
First things first, we're gonna save the Celtics, right? Because I think the same thing you can say for the Lakers and for the Knicks, where the NBA is a better place if these teams are playing well. You can say the same thing for the Celtics. No one likes seeing the Celtics at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Yet there they are. They're a mess right now in terms of the playoff picture. And I think what can save them is some more consistent play at the point guard position, right? And who is an attainable piece for them? Who can they give up? Who can they get without having to part ways with a Jaylen Brown or a Jason Tatum? Because I still believe in that two-man combo right there. Even if some people want to sell off on one of those two, I think you still build around that. I think you really just need to improve at that point guard. And I think if they can do it, you got to go get Fred Van Vleet off the Toronto Raptors. So here's the deal I got. If you give up Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Romeo Langford, and as many picks as it takes to get him, I think you make that move. And I don't know if the Raptors accept it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know they're in an interesting scenario where they're trying to rebuild, but at the same time compete and maybe make a playoff push. But you got to consider Fred Van Vleet, number one, could become a free agent not this summer coming up, but the summer after this year. So what's that, going into 2023? He could become a free agent. And from there, you really got to decide, is he going to stick here long term? We've seen the reports of him potentially signing with the Knicks. We've seen the reports of him signing in different markets. The Raptors don't want to be in a position where they're not getting anything back for him, right? So if the Celtics can force not necessarily force, I don't think they're going to force anything, but if the Celtics can make a compelling enough offer for Fred Van Vleet, I think he's someone that just works. Number one, he's going to give you a lot of that same defense that you're losing from trading away a guy like Marcus Smart. And number two, he's a guy who can score off the dribble, score basically from anywhere in the half court. I like him on that team. I like how he's going to give balance to that offense. I think he makes them a little bit more legitimate of a contender in Boston. What do you guys think?
He does make them a legitimate contender, but seeing
That
how
ain't
the
enough.
Raptors just paid him, that's not gonna happen. Like,
Man, that
Yeah, I don't
ain't
think
the
enough.
so.
Raptor, I mean, if you think about the way that situation happened in the offseason, because Fred Van Fleet was somebody I wanted on the Knicks to go
Yeah.
ahead and fill that void, that void we desperately needed filled. And the Knicks literally, if I remember, were in talks to even just sit down and have a conversation with him. The Raptors got wind that he was getting interest on the open market and literally swooped in before everybody and said, "This is what we're going to pay you. Come back to Toronto." I don't think somebody that they have done that much legwork and they were that desperate to keep, they're going to go ahead and let him walk to Boston of all places. Like, that's just
Right.
not going to happen.
I
Boston
don't know.
could use him. Boston probably needs him.
They definitely
But
do.
now will
They
they
do.
get him? I don't know.
I think you
don't know.
got to try to give some
so
things
Chris,
up.
you'll give up all that for him?
Absolutely. For Fred Van Vleet, I'll give up Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, and Romeo Langford and some picks. What? Hell yeah.
Lethal's looking at you like you just told him the earth was flat.
You wouldn't give that up for Fred?
I mean, he's great, but like, do they need another guard at that size trying to sling shots, bro?
I personally think so. I think not just sling shots. I think he's just going to bring more balance to that offense.
What else he bring?
Number one, he's going to bring some defense. And number two, he's going to bring somebody that I feel like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to be able to trust in terms of, taking pressure off them late. I don't know about you. Anytime I see Marcus Smart with the ball late in the clock, my heart rate start going. I was like, what the hell is he going to do next? You know what I'm saying? Fred Van Vleet, he's proven in those moments he's going to alleviate some of that pressure. And I think that's an opportunity for him to actually run that offense. You know what I'm saying? If they've got somebody else that they can trust to make the right decision time and time again, I think it makes them a better team. So moving on to my next idea, right? And I honestly, when it comes to the Sixers, I think they're playing a very dangerous game with Ben Simmons, right? And it's less of a game with Ben Simmons and it's more of a game with Joel Embiid. Because Joel Embiid's body at this point is so fragile and overrun.
Beat up.
Yeah. You knew when you drafted him that you had a very limited window to win with him, right? And now you are playing with that window because you are not a contender without Ben Simmons, and you are not a contender if you don't get something in exchange for Ben Simmons. So I think Daryl Morey needs to cut the crap and trying to extract whatever package he can get, and he needs to make a real deal. I think that deal is with Sacramento. I think you trade for De'Aaron Fox immediately. I think you add on, if the Kings are like, nah, we want some more, I think you add whatever draft picks, or if you have to attach another young player, you do that too. You add De'Aaron Fox next to Tobias Harris, next to Joel Embiid, next to that group you got in Philly. That team, now you looking at Brooklyn, you looking at Miami, you looking at Milwaukee, like, yeah, what's up now? I like that for them. What you guys think?
I agree with you 100%. I think De'Aaron Fox coming to the East would be different. I don't see a lot of guards. I don't see a lot of guards being able to stay in front of him. Most importantly, he's a power guard. He's not one of those guards that shine away from contact. So it will be kind of cool to see him on the 76ers and running that offense, because I agree with you 100%. You know, I love Joel Embiid's game, but the way that he plays is not like he's going to be able to play till he's 40, exactly. Unless he gets that, like Ashley says, that Robin or, you know, that the more people to take the load of him. Because, I mean, how long can somebody carry a team that long without their body breaking down? And he's shown to us that he's very injury prone.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, especially with the news that Ben Simmons, the 76ers have no idea of when he'll play again, and have no desire to release him anytime soon until they get a proper trade deal for him. I mean, Embiid needs the help. The Sixers need the help. Time waits for no man. And if they're going to go ahead and play this tug of war with Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons is going to continue to play this tug of war with them, they got to make a move that can help them. You know, the Kings aren't going anywhere. I think that this has been a perpetual circle for them for seasons.
Yeah.
They get better on roster, but they don't get better in terms of actual performance. And in the West, we talk about this all the time. With it being so competitive, you gotta go ahead and transfer that success on a roster in terms of just logistics and what it says on paper, and you gotta bring it to the court. And they're unable to go ahead and do that, whether it's coaching, whether it's, you know, just other things, locker room presence or lack thereof, or drama between the players and the coaches, and whatever the case may be, there just seem to be a constant disaster. Yeah. And I think you got to go ahead and maybe just start from zero. So if they're willing to do that, that's a move I would make, definitely, as a Sixers front office member, for sure.